What the fuck is up, everyone? Prison Meddler here, back with another fucking re-rank video. I know it's been a while. And yes, as you may know on the votes, I did, on my community tab, on which the 4 bands on what should I re-rank next. It's either Avenged Sevenfold, Bury Tomorrow, Powerwolf, and Suicide Silence. And it turned out that Avenged Sevenfold has the most votes, so here you go. So yeah, Avenged Sevenfold it is. So yes, today I'm re-ranking the Avenged Sevenfold albums from worst to best, since they have a new album out, their first new album in 7 years. So there you go, guys. Now, before I begin ranking, I have to let y'all know I'm not including their Diamonds in the Rough album because that's a compilation album. So just the studio albums only. So, besides all that, let's go ahead and begin. Alright, so there's 8 albums in total now. So, starting up with their worst album at number 8 is going to be Hail to the King. There's so much I have to explain. First of all, the reason why I think it's their worst now is because they ripped off songs. Like, come on. This is basically the butt rock version of the Black Album. Usually they ripped off Metallica, especially the song This Means War, which stole the riffs from Sad But True. However, there's only 3 songs I do like from Hail to the King. The only 3 songs I like from Hail to the King is Shepherd of Fire, Hail to the King, and Planets. That's about it. So yeah, they pretty much ripped off the Black Album most of the time. Like, Shepherd of Fire pretty much ripped off Enter Sandman and Wherever I May Roam. Doing Time sounds way too similar to Iron Maiden's Wasted Years. Heretic sounds a lot like Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction. Like, come on, I can't be wrong here, you guys. I mean, how do they not sound that similar? And even their unreleased track sounds a lot like Nothing Else Matters. Like, come on. Same with Crimson Day. It kind of sounds like Nothing Else Matters, especially the beginning of it. Like, come on. Am I not wrong here? Heretic sounds like Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. And I know what you guys are going to say in the comments. Oh, they're heavily inspired by them, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's true. They're inspired by them, but there's a difference between inspiration and ripping off. And that album definitely ripped off bands. Like, definitely ripped it off. And I know some of you say, well, This Means War is especially like a cover of Sad But True. Really? That is definitely not a cover. One, they didn't give writing credits to Metallica, first of all. Like, here's the proof why. Yeah. I mean, it's not just Wikipedia that's just proof. There's other sources that didn't credit Metallica on here. So, no, that's not a cover. There's a difference between ripping off and a cover. Yeah, I explained enough. So, yeah. It's definitely their worst album. Easily a rip-off. So, Hail to the King is at the bottom for me at number 8. Okay, now, next up at number 7 I got is their debut album, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet from 2001. Hail to the King came out in 2013, then now Sounding the Seventh Trumpet came out in 2001. I forgot to mention the year on Hail to the King, but anyway, continuing on. Yeah, their debut album, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. I know many people put this at the bottom. This was at the bottom at the time, but the reason why I put this above is because they didn't rip off or anything like that. Yes, I know the production doesn't sound right, and M Shadow's clean vocals doesn't sound very good. Most of the vocals on here are just screaming and all, and yes, it's a metalcore album, but it has more of a hardcore punk sound than their heavy metal sound to it. And there's plenty of songs I do like from Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. So the songs I do like from here are and this is the reissue version I will be talking about, by the way, just to let y'all know. I can't find the original version. I'm reviewing the reissue version. So the songs I like from here are To End the Rapture, heavy metal version, Turn the Other Way, Darkness Surrounding, Warmness on the Soul, and An Epic of Time Wasted. So these are the 5 songs I do like from Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. I mean, it's kind of a guilty pleasure album for me since I did listen to this album back in the day, back in middle school or whatever. It didn't quite age well for me, so yeah, the production is kind of messy, but the album isn't bad overall. It's kind of a 50-50 for me, so it's an okay album. That's all. It's nothing special or anything about it, so, but I wouldn't call this a bad album. So Sounding the Seventh Trumpet will have to be at number 7 for me. Alright, number 6 is a big change, and at number 6 I got is The Stage from 2016. This used to be in my top 3, but not so much anymore. The album didn't really hold up. That's probably the reason why it's not on my top 3 anymore. I just feel like there's songs on there are filler, but a lot of the songs in here are just flat out amazing. So that's why I put this lower. So there's plenty of songs I do like from The Stage. So the songs I like from here are The Stage, Paradigm, Goddamn, Creating God, Simulation, and the epic closing track Exist. So, yeah, I definitely do enjoy The Stage. I still do, but it's not one of my favorites anymore, and it doesn't really quite hold up well for me because there's plenty of filler songs here and there, but there's plenty of shit tons of amazing songs from The Stage, though. But, yeah, it's a decent album overall, but I feel like the album is just way too long, and they could have cut some of the filler songs out, and I think it would have grown, it would go up. But yeah, it's now lower now, so I mean, I still like it, but I just feel like there's better albums than this nowadays. So The Stage will have to be at number 6 for me. Okay, now, number 5. I'm going to piss a lot of people off on this, and it's going to be their self-titled album from 2007. Oh, you didn't expect this one. Y'all thought I would put this at number 1. Well, it's not, and it never was, to tell you the truth. In fact, I think this album is overrated. I know I did say Nightmare was overrated a few years ago, but I'm going to explain that in a bit. I'll explain that whenever I get to Nightmare. Now, yes, I do like this album. I think it's good, but I don't love it or anything. I think this is an overrated album because I feel like it's pretty underwhelming for me. And yes, I can agree. Yes, it's very experimental, but it's just too underwhelming to me. That's all. But there's plenty of songs I do like from their self-titled album. So the songs I do like from their self-titled is Critical Acclaim, Almost Easy, Scream, Afterlife, Unbound, The Wild Ride, and A Little Piece of Heaven. A Little Piece of Heaven, I definitely do like that song a lot. I just love how dark that song is, so it has this Broadway sound to it, which I do like. But overall, yeah, I just feel like this is an overrated album. I think there's way better albums than this, to be honest with you. I mean, it's far from bad. It's still a good album, but I just don't really go back to it that much. That's all. So yeah, if I go back to it, I would just listen to the songs that I like, and that's about it. So anything else is just very underwhelming for me. That's all. But anyway, yeah, their self-titled album from 2007, or the White Album, as you could say, would have to be at number 5 for me. Alright, number 4. I actually quite impressed with it, and it's their new album. Life is But a Dream. Came out this year in 2023. Their first album in 7 years. I could put this higher, but it's gonna be where it's gonna be, and I think the top three actually still holds up to this day. And this album just came out, and that album at number 4 just came out, so it's gonna be where it's gonna be for now. So yeah, at number 4 it's gonna be "Life Is But a Dream." Now, I actually quite enjoy this one. This album is better than I thought. I know some people may hate this album depending on their taste of music. I actually do like this avant-garde sound to it. I like how weird it was. It's a pretty weird album, and I do think it's a lot proggier than the stage was. So I actually like all tracks. So here's all the tracks. Game Over. Game Over sounds so much like System of a Down for some reason. Metal, Nobody, We Love You. Now, We Love You is very polarizing song because has way too many transition. Like, it starts off with this thrash with auto-tune sound effects, and it goes with this boom, 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 boom. And then many others. It's hard to explain. So yeah. Some may complain about "We Love You," but I actually had fun with that song. So there you go. Now, okay, Cosmic. Holy shit, this is maybe my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song of all time. I am very impressed with that song, Cosmic. The outro sounds a lot like Mastodon for some reason. The outro in that song. I know it's not really a metal song in general, but the outro kind of is, and it sounds so similar to Mastodon. And no, they didn't rip it off this time like they did with Help to the King album. So just to let y'all know, that pretty much explains the difference between inspiration and ripping off. Beautiful Morning, Easier, G, Ordinary, Death, and the classical instrumental track Life Is But a Dream. So yeah, here you go. Yeah, I actually quite enjoy this one. I'm quite impressed by their new album since the last two albums didn't hold up well. So yeah, Life Is But a Dream. I definitely enjoy this one. Is it one of the best of 2023? I don't know for now. So I mean, that album just came out, so I don't know if it will hold up for me in the future or not. So, but it's where it is going to be for now. So Life Is But a Dream will have to be at number 4 for me. Okay, now, number 3 changed a lot, and it's gonna be Nightmare from 2010. I'm trapped in a fire. If y'all see my old review, I take everything back on what I said about the ballads. I kind of complained about too many ballads on that song back in the day, but I take all of that back. I definitely take back on what I said. It's overrated and not the White Album. What I said was stupid, and I apologize for that. That was really dumb of me. I was wrong about it. I definitely understand how the ballad songs are put together. But yeah, I definitely do enjoy Nightmare, and I can explain why many people put this higher now. So, and yes, I did listen to Avenged Sevenfold back in the day in middle school, but I pay attention more to the songs than the albums in general. That's how I pretty much experienced it back in the day. So that pretty much explains why here. But yeah, I like all the songs. There's 11 of them. So here's all the tracks from Nightmare. Alright, Nightmare, that's an awesome song. Welcome to the Family, Danger Life, Buried Alive. Now, I noticed Buried Alive, yes, I'll admit, it did rip off Metallica songs. Not Buried Alive. Fade of Black, Orion, and Ride the Lightning. I know it sounds way too similar to that, but it's kind of like a medley of these 3 songs, but I kind of liked it. So I know it may sound hypocritical, but it didn't rip off the entire thing, though. Natural Born Killer, definitely. So Far Away. God Hates Us. God Hates Us is severely underrated. Victim, Tonight the World Dies, Fiction, and the epic closing track, Save Me. I definitely love Save Me. That sounds epic as fuck, though. So yeah, these are all the 11 tracks I do like from Nightmare. So yeah, I like this album a lot more now than I did years ago. So Nightmare comes in at number 3 for me. Okay, now, number 2 I have is Waking the Fallen, their second album from 2003. This is their only one or two albums that is metalcore with a lot more screaming back in the day. And this was my favorite album at the time, 10 years ago, but since I'm more of an expert in metal now than I have like 10 to 15 years ago, this changed now. So yeah, number 2, Waking the Fallen. I still love this album. It's a metalcore classic. So I wouldn't argue on this being number 1. This was number 1, but it's kind of a flip-flop to me now, but it's where it is going to be on this video. So yeah, I definitely I love Waking the Fallen. It's definitely one of their gateway albums for me into more of the metalcore genre. So now, metalcore, my thoughts on that genre in general, not really my favorite subgenre since I'm not a fan of the 2010s metalcore genre with bands like Asking Alexandria. I'm not a fan of those bands whatsoever. I do like 2000s metalcore, like Killswitch Engage Trivium, which is a shirt I'm wearing right now, Bullet for My Valentine. I don't consider Lamb of God metalcore at all. For some reason. Maybe their early stuff is kind of metalcore, but not really in general. As I Lay Dying. You know what? Let's get back to the topic. Sorry, I don't mean to go off topic here. Yeah, definitely a metalcore classic. So here's all the tracks I do like. There's 12 of them, I believe. Let me look. Sorry, guys. I know I know there's one dumbass said, "Oh, you know nothing because you forgot." Whatever. Yeah, there's 12 tracks. So here's all the tracks. Waking the Fallen. Unholy Confessions is an awesome song. Chapter 4, Reminitions, Desecrate Through Reverence, Eternal Rest, Second Heartbeat, Radiant Eclipse. I Won't See You Tonight, Part 1 is one of my favorite songs from Avenged Sevenfold. I Won't See You Tonight, Part 2, Clairvoyant, Disease, and All Things Will End. So here's all the tracks I do like from Waking the Fallen. Definitely a metalcore classic. I definitely do enjoy it. And it comes in at number 2 for me. Alright, number 1 is still one of my favorites. It kind of was at number 2 at the time, but it grew up to number 1 nowadays. And that would be City of Evil from 2005, their third album. Oh man, the musical elements. I know many people may complain about M. Shadow's vocals, why they don't like Avenged Sevenfold because of the vocals, which his vocals did improve later on over time. But I don't mind it. I don't mind the vocals on here, but I can understand why many people complain about the vocals. But I do like the musical structures they put out with this album. All the songs are just amazing to me. So here's all the tracks. There's 11 of them, I believe. Yeah, 11. Alright, here's all the songs. Beast and the Harlot is an awesome song. Burn It Down, Blinded in Chains. Backcountry is a classic song by them. Trash and Scattered, Seize the Day, Sidewinter, The Wicked End, Strength of the World, Betrayed, and MIA. So that's all the 11 tracks from here. Definitely an amazing album, and it's still at number 1 for me. I think it's always going to be at number 1 now, permanently, despite being Waking the Fallen at number 1 back 10 years ago, but it's whatever now. It's kind of more mature to me now, so yeah. Waking the Fallen is at number 1 for me. Alright guys, so this is my current ranking for Avenged Sevenfold, my re-ranking. And what is your current ranking of Avenged Sevenfold albums? Let me know in the comments. So, yeah guys, I don't know what's next on the rankings or re-ranks, but I'll decide. I don't know if it's going to be any of these bands that I put in the voted section or whatever. I do think about re-ranking Rush, but I do have thoughts on that, so let me go what you guys think and stay on topic too. So yeah, guys, that's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. So peace out. I'm out.